All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makar Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Right, I've been meaning to do a lesson on this, and I mentioned it in a previous lesson that I did as well anyway. Right, but I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and what it is pretty much there's a new Game of Thrones, right, which is a good show, and it shows like more of a royal way of living, right, but it's all fantasy and fiction anyway. It's got a load of things in there that would be related to a lot of people wouldn't accept are real anyway, right? But what's happened in this show is that there's a black character, as the world would call it, that's part of a so-called house that don't exist, by the way, in reality. And people are losing their mind that this character has been made black. And let me see if I can skip forward and show it. Here we go. This character here on the right-hand side of the screen, right? People are losing their mind at the thought of him being a black character, so-called black character, right? Which his skin's clearly dark brown, by the way, right? And that woman next to him, her skin is clearly red, by the way, right? She's pink, clearly, by the way, right? But people would call that racist, but don't call the truth. They'll call the truth racist, but don't call the lies racist, right? But anyway, people are losing their mind that this character is dark skinned, right? But they don't have a problem with all the times where they change real history, right? But let's read some of the comments and see what we can say. It says, someone's wrote, as a black person, which you're not black, you're an Israelite. As a black person, a new racist remarks were coming. People can hide behind their social media accounts and say racist things. Now, let's see what some of the responses are. Let's see, man. Because it's surprisingly, I ain't seen too much people talking at jazz. But it's obviously been said enough. You see, here we go. It says, someone said, can Black Panther be played by a white person then? But here's the thing. It's not real. It's not real, man. And these Edomites have got a problem with Israelites doing anything in reality or in fantasy, right? And I've wrote down a few things that I'm talking about, man. For example, 007 James Bond, right? 007 is it's like a license or a classification given to a secret agent in all of those movies, right? There's nowhere in reality or even in that fake world, excuse me, that it says that 007 has to be a Caucasian. But when Idris Elba wanted to play James Bond, people was losing their mind, saying he's always been white, but 007 is just an agent that's got a license to kill, and that's a certain classification of a 00 agent. But they had a problem with that. So they had a certain lie for that, for why they wanted that to be that way, right? But again, that's fake. And they've got a problem with they've got such a problem with fake history being changed. But then they ain't got a problem when they change real history, man. And that's why we can't stand you Edomites, man. We can't stand you people, right? Here we go. It says they do it to Vikings as well. Cast a black woman as a Vikings lord, which really, if you know anything, man, the Vikings should actually be dark skinned people, man. And there's an elder right that called Malcolm that goes into that, man, right? But that's them changing real history. And the biggest one is them changing Yahweh Shai's image to look like a so-called white person. The scriptures clearly say that the head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. Meaning his hair on his head is white and the hair on his beard is white, just like the character that you can see on the screen right there. And his feet like unto fine brass. This man's skin tone is exactly that type of skin tone that it's mentioning. And minus the dreads, his image would be that of a dark skinned man with white woolly hair, right, on his head and his hairs. And that's the reason why people are really hating it, because that look of an Israelite royal stands out too much for them to be able to handle, man. Because King David would have had an image like this. King Solomon would have had an image like this. All of the ancient men in the world of the Israelites would have had images like this. Moses would have had an image like this. Paul would have had an image like this, man. And these people can't handle that, man, because it scares them, man. Because they know in their spirit that image right there of a dark skinned man with white woolly hair is an image that brings their destruction, man. They can tell in their spirit, man. And that's why they got such a problem with this. right? They got a problem with this, man, and they always got something to say. They complained when Jax on a video game went back in time on a video game, by the way, and stopped slavery from happening. And these devils was losing their mind, saying, "Why would Jax go and do that? Did he ask them if they wanted to change? If he wanted to change the history, as if you would need to ask somebody if they want to go into slavery? Who would want to go into slavery if they could not go into slavery? Who would want to do hard work for no wage if they could do hard work for a wage?" You know what I mean? Like, these devils are just demons, man. Right? In Black Panther, people complained about the movie Black Panther, right? When that had mainly Israelite characters, people complained about that. They had a problem about that, and they complained and said they're not gonna watch it, they're gonna boycott it and all of that. But they didn't do that. They went and watched it, man. Just like how people are complaining about this show, saying they're not gonna watch it and all of that, right? But they're going to watch it, man. Now let me see what this says. It says some people have so much time in their hands to be racist about a fiction series. He's literally killing the role, and he's acting good in the role, man. What's their problem? These people are demons, man. These people are demons, man. Oh, here we go. You see, they keep mentioning that Black Panther, but when Jake's be watching the Avengers before it had Black Panther in there, we didn't care about none of that. We didn't care, man, because it's not real. It's not real, you nerds. Like, what don't these people get, man? It's not real. Here is this show, Game of Thrones, has got fire-breathing dragons, magic, people getting stabbed into the heart and being turned into an ice dragon, right? Into an ice zombie. Zombies getting killed and brought back to life, which people dying and being brought back to life ain't no joke, as in my eyes, as a Hebrew Israelite, because I believe that that can happen because it happened to Yahushua. But these Edomites don't believe in that stuff, really. And the fact that these Edomites care so much about fantasy being only their image shows that reality is getting too hard for them, man. So now they're having to dwell in the fake realm. You know, that's why they care so much about the fake realms having some being some kind of abode for them to dwell in, man. That's why they're making FN Mecha a fake robot android character that they can use to say the N word and all of this, right? Because reality is getting too hard for them, man. Inflation's going through the roof, gas prices are going up, house is harder for them to buy a house. They can't just say the N word to people on the street no more because they might get their jawbone twisted, right? They can't just bear false witness no more and accuse us of doing something because we've pulled out that phone and record their ass. And even if the police don't catch them and get them for the judgment for the things that they're doing, the proof that they do this stuff still is going to be put out into the airwaves, man, for us to see that they're still the lying devils that they've always been, man. Right? And there ain't much more that I can say on this, man. But people can watch the comments and see all this stuff anyway. But these Edomites are just losers, man, and they're just little crybabies, man. Right? They always got something to say, man. No matter what, they don't want us to have nothing, man. They don't even want us an actor to get a role on a job. They got a problem with that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna end the lesson there, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.